This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
All right, so I'm going to call the meeting to order. It's, there's, it is 7 o'clock on Monday, May 20th, meeting of the Manhan Rail Trail Committee. So, hi, John. We'll start with the approval of the minutes from the April 29th meeting. Anybody send it out with the agenda? Anybody have any corrections or comments or anything about it?
Oh, I thought it was very thorough and accurate. I didn't see anything.
All right, you have a motion to approve the minutes of the April 29th, 2024 meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, second. All in favor? All right. Opposed? Abstained? Okay, great. Well, not a whole lot to talk about tonight, but I guess we can talk about maintenance stuff first. First of all, I wanted to update everybody that I checked with Greg and they did not put any money into the budget for the trail project. So I don't know if they didn't put it in and it was taken out or anything. I don't have any details. Budget hasn't been approved, but it will be approved how it's been presented. So we'll have to just on top of that. We have not heard anything about the grant. I don't know if that's good or bad. Maybe they're waiting to find out about that and see exactly what's going to happen with that. So I thought that was going to happen sometime in May. I haven't heard anything.
I think technically it says by June, something, but I thought Alexa said you might hear earlier. So
Yeah.
if she pops on, maybe we'll see if she don't has to choose.
Didn't she say that they were planning to announce maybe during Bike Week? So
It's already gone by though. So that's why I say,
Yeah,
I don't know if it's good or bad that we haven't heard anything. I don't, or whether it's neutral. I'm not sure.
Will we find out before it's publicly announced these are all of the recipients, or will we find out when the world does?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're announced.
Yeah.
Really.
Who does it? Do we know who even gets told?
It would probably be planning or DPW. Yeah. Probably wouldn't be me, but I have not heard, nobody's told me anything.
I think they would tell you.
Yeah, you'd think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
planning's in flux.
Well, planning is in flux because they had somebody that was set to become our new planner and then she backed out.
Oh.
So now they're back to square one.
Reopening the search.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they'll go to the next person or don't know, but yeah. And the building inspector's leaving at the end of the month too. So, so downstairs is a little bit, a little bit. Yeah. Interesting.
Ghost town.
Yep.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's that.
Does the building inspector fall under planning too?
No, they
No,
don't,
okay.
but they work together with
Yeah.
a lot of things. So
You see that like a significant person in any office leaves and you start to see some
Yeah.
cascading.
yep.
Yeah.
Hi, Alexis. We're glad you're here.
I might have to jump off. I'm trying to coordinate with someone who's rescheduled 3 times.
Okay. Why don't we go right to the cultural chaos thing while you're here and in case you need to leave early.
Okay.
So how are the signups? How are we doing? I don't.
I think so far it's just like you and David is only folks who signed up.
I just signed myself up.
Okay.
I have to bulk up.
Yeah, and Anita, so yeah.
Nice.
I am going to
Go ahead, Liz.
I am going to sign up. I have to, y'all probably know, I need to keep to a minimum the amount of time I leave Ralph here by himself. So I will depend on when and if I can get home care that day. And, you know, what part of the day, if any, I can get coverage. So once I know that, I will sign up if at all possible. I do want to be there. That's why I'm not here now.
So Alexis, did you put this out to anybody else, or is it just gone to this committee?
Just this committee.
Okay. Are you able to get it out to anybody else?
Yeah, there's I think there's a group in Greenfield that does bike valet, and there's the Mass Bike Listserv. It's been bike week, so everybody has been absolutely swamped. I've been at 7 events the last 7 days,
Okay.
including all weekend.
Okay.
What about that Manhan Friends listserv that where we get volunteers sometimes? Can it go to them?
Alexis, were you going to put it on there? Because I wasn't really able to do it.
The Google group you just added me to recently.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't even have permissions to even read emails until like a few days ago. So I can try sharing it.
Okay.
I also might be able to just change the settings. It's through my work Google Drive. So if I change the settings, you might be able to repost it.
Okay. Yeah, I find Google, the permissions are so confusing.
They're
and
finicky.
they're finicky is right. So if you can get it so it can be like a link that anybody can, then yeah, just send it to me and I'll post it tomorrow. I just want to make it so that there aren't like just a few of us having to spend the whole day doing
I
it.
was planning to like not spend the whole day, but because like it was my idea and the mass bikes stuff, I was gonna like check in most of the day. If like just keeping, like wander around, come back.
Okay. I hope that people will know that it's there because I mean, I don't think there's been any publicity about it through the cultural chaos, anything. So I just hope people know that it's there and we don't just stand there all day and do nothing.
I think the key element is having signs at both sides saying, I think we talked about this at the last meeting, sandwich boards to direct people, or we might even need to tell whoever is at the security guards to direct people to us with bikes because it's a new feature.
Yeah, let the CERT team know that we're there, and when they see someone come through with a bike, they can direct them.
And I haven't had any communication with cultural chaos or Pasquala, so I can't. I think you're our contact. I can't help with that.
Okay. I do remember talking about the sandwich board signs, which I can make up a bunch of those. I should ask Lena where she thinks they should go, but definitely down here, down at Cottage Street, a couple places. So,
And I'll put it on Facebook, but I'll wait till
yeah,
maybe
it's probably a
week
little too
before,
soon.
5 days before, something like that.
Okay, I can have them made up and that can be something we can do in the morning when we're setting up. Put out a few of those.
Yeah, maybe like the cultural chaos page will share.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I put it on the website as an upcoming event. I don't know how many people actually go to that.
Yeah, so probably the beginning of June on that.
Yeah, actually. I'm putting it on my calendar.
All right. Okay. Alexis, you didn't hear anything about the Mass Trails grants, did you? No? Okay. Haven't heard anything and we didn't know if that was good or bad news.
I don't think they've made any announcements yet.
Okay,
They
good.
certainly haven't told me.
Okay, that's good news. Okay.
My volume just went out. I don't know if anyone else is having the problem.
Yeah, I can't hear Barb anymore.
Okay.
Really?
There you are. You blipped out for a few minutes.
Okay. So tomorrow, we're going to start around 9 o'clock. We're going to start trying to repaint the mural. The banner is gonna be what we do first. And so far, Wendy, are you?
I'll be there for like an hour and a half.
Okay,
That's all I
perfect.
can do.
Okay.
I have to-
We were gonna start kind of early because it's gonna be hot tomorrow. But so far it was just me and Terry and now Wendy. If anybody else would like to come, is able to come and wants to paint. Everybody that is like an artist who I tried to reach out to, nothing's happening. So we're just gonna have to do the best we can.
Barb, I just made you editor, so you might be able to share it now.
Okay, great, thanks. Yeah, so we want to get the banner done first, so then Rich can get the letters up.
Okay.
There's a little fussier spot with the top of the gazebo that's,
Okay.
more of an artsy person. Maybe you can
Okay.
work on that.
Are we gonna have ladders or do I have to?
He's gonna
bring
set
them?
up staging.
Okay.
Yep. I've got some paintbrushes and I've got the paint, but I don't have any fine, like, smaller paintbrushes.
Okay.
I've got like a 2-inch and a 3-inch and an angle.
Okay.
So if you have a favorite brush that
Okay.
you'd like to bring, and if anybody else wants to come.
I gotta work.
I know, I'm off this week, so so we're gonna paint it and then we have to put like a coating on top of it, a varnishy coat, so. Yeah, so that's tomorrow.
The varnish will be later though, or are you gonna,
No,
does
no,
the paint dry quickly?
I think it dries quickly and maybe the banner we'll want to put that on so he can, it might be a couple day project with painting and then putting the letters up.
So do you have all the different colors to
I
be able
do.
to mix?
I do.
You do?
Mhm. Yep.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. Is
Um,
the sun on it
later.
in the morning? Okay.
Yeah, later.
That's good.
So, also for anybody who was at the mulching, about the rock, we've got the memorial rock that, George Labrie took and dropped for, Peter's rock. Wendy and I have been kind of working on the wording a little bit.
I thought what you wrote was,
Wendy she had some good suggestions. Let's see if we can find did you like that final one that we
Yeah,
came up
I
with?
think that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, you could-
I think we said in recognition of Peter Brooks, 1956 to 2023, in appreciation for all of this. Yeah, let's find it.
The issue I had was dedication and hard work on the bike path. I said, it really should be dedication to.
I thought that too.
Yep,
That just.
Yep. no, that's
You know,
that's
not
why
that
I
I'm
have you
a
look at it.
grammarian or anything, but it just
No.
bothered me and
I
so.
didn't want to quibble over a preposition.
I
Oh,
know,
no.
but it
No.
just, all those years in Catholic school, I
Yeah.
had to change it.
No,
I mean, I think it still works
oh,
because
no, I was thrust, that's why I threw it out to everybody.
it's just a
So you
little,
could say dedication, commas,
well, I thought of you using like dedicated and then something else rather than.
I know, I
but-
tried to do that too, and it
Just to let you know, I didn't send it to everybody. I kind of sent it to the people who knew Peter, just not anything, and just because I figured that, we would hash it out.
Couldn't think of a better way to.
Yeah.
It
So
didn't sound too
anyways-
stilted.
Yes, so it's just in recognition of Peter Brooks, 1956 to
Dedication and hard work.
2023, and dedication. And
dedication and hard work on behalf of the Manhan Rail Trail, or maintenance of the Manhan Rail.
Maintenance of
That's what it
the
was. On behalf of
maintenance of the Manhan Rail Trail. Yeah, it was pretty short. So, Rusty of A1, there's a place down in Red Rock Shops. He's gonna make the plaque. He was gonna go look at the rock and make sure, because size wise, we have to make sure it goes on kind of this one, the flattish area. So I need to, maybe I'll stop down there tomorrow and, so. Once we get it ready, we'll need to put it on. I think we can just put screws in them and some epoxy behind it. So I think Rich can do that too. They'll have little holes and he'll have the screws. Peter through the church, and I told him what we were doing. So he's suggesting that when we do have our little like unveiling, that it maybe be on a Sunday around 1 o'clock, because Peter's had a lot of church people and his family's it's church going people. And so they thought if we did it like right after church, that might be a good time. We are almost at the 1 year mark of his passing, but I don't think I think that was June 9th. But we're probably gonna not
We're
quite
not gonna make it.
not quite make
That's
that, but it is gonna be around that time. So I planted some flowers.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, they look nice.
Yeah.
It's a nice size rock. Nobody's walking away with that.
Yeah. Well, Tom had a suggestion. When he looked at it, and he goes, "Oh, you should stand it up." And I'm like, we never even thought about that.
Yeah.
But and part of me says, if you put it up like this, some kids, they
Never
might
know,
end
yeah.
up being pushed over. So, and if somebody wants to sit on it, it's okay. So anyway, so that's that. Update on the map project. Oh, why don't we go back one thing? Yeah, we're still looking for volunteers to help with the weeding of the bike path, garden bed. I sent that out a couple times, and there's also another one that does the boardwalk. But right now we'll focus on the maintenance of our garden. So
And did you send that to the entire friends list?
I put it on Facebook. I put it on the
I
Google
saw it.
group. Sent it to the lady. I put it out there quite a bit. Yeah, it's been very slim. Very slim. But
Worst comes to worst, I'll just do the weed whack it, or
Lost the sound again. You got no sound. There you go.
It's just a thing, I guess.
I don't, it must be the internet, the wire, must be the Wi-Fi here, because we're not doing anything different. So, okay, so on with the map project. Any updates from, Liz, do you have anything? Wendy?
We got a couple of emails from Jake this week, and one was contained all the files to print out the maps, and one had his itemized bill for his services, and a blank W-9 form for us to fill out to report what we paid him. And so he said, basically, his part is done, and now it's up to us, I guess, to find the best print shop to do it. And they should be able to work with the files that he sent us.
Did that come today?
Today or yesterday?
Okay.
Yeah, he CC'd me on the one that didn't have any of the files, just like that was saying like it's done.
Yeah.
But to get a quote, I would need the file.
So
Half of that,
the total bill was 2,500, so
half of
we
that.
split it with
Okay.
Northampton.
All right, I didn't
But
see that.
I'm sorry, but that's
No, yeah.
different from the printing bill,
Yeah.
but this is just for his.
So how should we,
So you'll need the file. is what
Yeah,
you're
I didn't
saying.
get that. I wasn't on,
Okay.
it makes sense. 'Cause
The
like,
reason I'll forward it to you. He included the W-9 has his social security on it number, so I didn't want to send that out to everybody.
Okay.
So I guess I'll send that to you and the bill to you.
Yeah, yeah.
But we can send
just
you the
Cause
file.
I would just need that to get the quote.
Okay.
So
Right,
how
I can
many
do that.
are we getting? Liz, do you know what the number was that we decided on?
I don't think we decided.
Really decide.
When George was here, we said between 15 and 20,000.
Right.
And everyone was like,
Okay,
so
so I guess we get prices for,
See if there's a good break point.
yeah. So who's gonna reach out to Paradise? I mean, I would think George should.
I think he's got more knowledge of what goes into it certainly than I do. maybe any of us do. See if he'd be willing to shop around and get quotes.
Well, so we'll get one.
We'll get one.
So we'll have it.
Whoop, sound's gone again. No sound.
There it is. Now it's back.
Yeah, there we go.
It's right in the middle of the sentence too.
Right, an important sentence. Say that again, what you were just saying.
I don't know.
About what we were gonna do next. We're
So
gonna get quotes.
if you can ask George to get the quote from Paradise, and Evan will get one from the Chicopee place, I guess.
If who can get George to? Do you want me to write to George and ask him if he'll do that?
Sure.
That'd
Why
be
don't you go
great.
ahead?
Okay, I can do that.
All right. Okay. Well, that's pretty much all on the agenda.
Do we have any information as to when they're going to, take care of the section of trail that crosses Union Street?
Oh. I
It's a
don't
mess
know.
over there.
Yeah, well, I think, yeah,
Kind of out
right,
of our hands, I'd say.
yeah, well, every week they come out with the schedule. Right now, I mean, I know they're working on the sidewalks and
Right,
the,
the
I think
sidewalks are
it's
done
like-
like for part of Union Street. right?
yeah, so they were working in front of the Council on Aging today. I think the only thing we can do is keep an eye on that schedule that the chamber puts out.
I just wondered whether we should have anything on Facebook, just saying, the
Yeah,
detour, the slight little detour is there or whatever, just,
Bear with us.
yeah, so people who are, especially as the weather gets nicer and more people are out, just so they know what to anticipate.
hmm,
And likewise, today, we came around the Ferry Street Rotary, and they
Oh,
were
yeah.
working on
they're taking out the fencing.
the fencing,
Mm.
just south of
Mm.
that rotary.
Yep.
On the bike path.
Yeah, I
There's a
did,
big excavator.
yeah, they,
Get
for some
loader or
reason,
something.
well, I don't know the story behind that. I was gonna reach out to Greg. I'm wondering if the owner there that does all the mowing said, why is this fence here? It's a lot, it's gonna make it a lot easier without the fence, and there's really no reason for that fence.
Are you talking about the wooden fence? or
Yep.
There
On
were
the mill
strips of
side.
wood laying on the bike paths.
Yeah, they were
so-
taking them out. I
Yeah,
saw
okay,
it.
that's-
Last night we went by and all the railings were gone,
Okay,
and then today they were taking out the posts.
okay, that's what.
So I suspect that it may be it would be a lot easier to maintain this area if this fence wasn't here. But I need to ask Greg about that. Oh, I do want to mention that. So I think I mentioned the last meeting that, when Rich, my husband and I, we were out working on we cut down the grasses at the last meeting and we looked up and there was a car on the bike path.
All right.
Did I mention that? Maybe I just said it at the mulching. Yeah, there was a car on the bike path heading towards Payson Ave. We're like, wow, is there a
Where
car?
did they go on, get
So-
on?
Sounds out again.
Okay, well,
It'll come back.
it'll come back. So there's a pretty big opening there, and that was right when Union Street was all dug up, and I think somebody just. So I asked,
Shortcut.
yeah, so I asked the DPW if they could find a big rock. And they did. So right now there's a big boulder
Mhm.
right there, plenty of room for walker riders and, but you can't drive it through it anymore. If somebody, if somebody wants to drive, what is going on?
Getting feedback.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a big rock there right now.
Okay.
So. And I had also asked them to do the mowing right before the Lovefield Street Bridge. And I noticed that that's been done too. So all good things.
Good.
Yep.
I wanted to just mention that I did finally take the sign down. the Craig de la Pena sign near South Street.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Yeah, I bought security bits, and they were not only security bit, but opposite thread too.
Hmm.
Which you don't know when you walk up to it.
Yeah.
So I learned the hard way. They were left-handed.
I think Peter put that up. Oh,
Yeah.
speaking, another thing is, it was a couple weeks ago that a car hit part of the railing down by Fort Hill Road. I guess the car came onto the bike path and damaged the fence down by Fort Hill Road. So I mentioned that to Greg, and it must not have been too bad because they fixed it really quick. So that's been fixed too.
So those guys have already begun to do maintenance then, as part of the whole thingy.
Well, they'll help when they can and have time. John, I mentioned there's no money in the DPW budget for the bike path next year. So, but they still, if I ask them to do something, they'll go take a look at it. Yep.
How come there's no money in the budget?
So is that something that needs to go to the committee and get have a hearing about so that they can allot money for that?
Well, the budget is pretty much set. So
For this year.
for the new fiscal year starting in July. I don't know. We'll just have to have a conversation again.
Well, the mayor had asked to come to the meeting after the budget was.
It'll be a short meeting.
So that would be potentially our next meeting. So I don't know if that's still gonna happen. We will have to follow up.
Yeah.
I will follow up.
Let's have our own fundraiser.
I mean, we have money to do what we need to have done now. They've started to mow. Both of our mowing contractors have done the first mowing. So the Riverside's still picking up the trash. I at least hope. Oh, I can't. It's not. Should I? Gosh, now you're muted. Whatever. John, can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Let me test something, okay?
Yeah, that's muted. No, you're muted now.
All right. We're getting some feedback and I don't know why.
I'll mute mine.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. All right. Anybody else have anything? Anything to?
This is curiosity, but speaking of funding, I saw that someone who's doing Easthampton Gives on the Facebook page.
Oh, yes.
And
yes.
Friends of the Rail Trail was last month
Yep.
group sheet was highlighting.
Yes.
Did you get donations?
Some.
Okay.
Actually, I need to add it all up. I think it wasn't that many, but it maybe a couple $100. Yep. There were, all of a sudden I was getting these kind of strange PayPal donations and I was like, what is, I didn't know what it was. And then I went to the library and the director had made, because she was one of them and it came from, and then she said, oh, but it was because at that point I didn't know that we had been picked for the April, I think it was. So, I need to, add those up. And Liz, I'll add up the people that donated for that, and then maybe you can at least write a thank you note to the organizer. Yeah, that was very nice. Anything?
I wanted to mention one thing. So I don't know if you guys know this, but I run the Bombyx Arts and Equity Center in Florence. And we do lots of concerts and lots of community events. I met Nick Richard, and he does this show called Bike Talk on Valley Free Radio. So he does this show about bikes. And, you know, I told him I was on the committee, so I'm going to go on the show and talk about the rail trail. And, you know, we had a brief discussion about what to talk about. And I think it's going to be, some of it's going to be about the fact that the trail is part of a larger network to New Haven, like Northampton, New Haven network. But I also could mention, the need for some help, some volunteer help too, if you guys want me to. Right? Because you said you're looking for people to volunteer to help weed. Is that what you're looking for?
Yep.
Yeah. So the radio might be a good way to reach a lot more people.
When is this going to be?
I'm not sure, but I'll email you guys and let you know when I'm going to be on. We're going to set it up. I'm going to email them back.
Because
There's always opportunities for people to join and help.
right,
I
right.
think, instead of,
Yeah, I think that specifying
look.
like weeding, maybe that's not too interesting, but if you kind of promoted like our website or the Facebook page for, upcoming events and, volunteer asks. Did you hear that, John? Oh, you're muted. He's muted.
Your mic went out for the beginning of that part.
Okay, so I was saying about our website and joining the Facebook page.
Okay. Got it.
So yes.
Sorry, I'm late. I had battery problems. Got halfway here and the battery was trying to die. I have two batteries, but I didn't bring the second one on it. Like, so I had to go back and get it. I apologize. I did want to bring up something. There was an article in the Gazette about a statewide problem with of people and bikes is lower than it is in Boston. But there seems to be a real interest in taking some steps to try to help prevent pedestrian bicycle accidents. And we had a discussion earlier about a speed limit on the trail, and I didn't say anything. I'm a lifelong cyclist and I'm a road cyclist, and I like to ride fast. But I think anything over 15 miles an hour on the center part of the trail toward in the city area is probably too fast. And that's we ask people to observe at 15 miles an hour due to pedestrians and et cetera. How do you feel about that?
Well, I don't really know how you'd police it.
Street limitation.
The ordinance specifies what you can use on the trail, even though I have to say yesterday I saw a dirt biker. I said, that is not an e-bike. That's not a bike. He was right there I was going around the rotary at Ferry Street, and I'm like,
But we could include it in our etiquette, a suggested, for
nobody's
safety
gonna read
reasons.
that.
I think Northampton Liz, do you remember, George, I thought we talked about this briefly. I thought that they had a 15-mile-an-hour speed limit in Northampton. Isn't that part of their ordinance? Am I remember correctly on that? No, you're muted.
Yeah. I'm not sure about the speed limit, but I think they do restrict e-bikes to the ones that have to be pedaled. They don't allow the throttle models on their trails, the ones that you can do it without pedaling.
I see something like that.
I've seen it, right. It's just like so hard to enforce.
Yeah, I mean, how
It's-
do you enforce
You
that?
can't enforce it.
You
Or
could-
you can encourage, you can educate. I don't know.
Maybe we do a thing of, we could reach out to whatever reporter was at the Gazette and say, hey, representing the rail trail, we saw this article and it was about the statewide. If you'd like to do a more local one, we'd be happy to have someone talk about what the Manhan Rail Trail is doing to encourage safe etiquette on and off the trails. Like, if there was already a story about it, they might want to do a follow-up.
It might be good to have a region. If the Gazette is interested, I would think they'd want to do like a
Yeah.
region wide, because with the more and more people on e-bikes, maybe it's.
Right, yeah, so there might be appetite for like a follow-up story.
E-bikes go faster.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we actually do have a new Gazette reporter. And she, I mean, I don't know if she would do, I don't know if they have somebody who would do that type of story,
Yeah.
like a region story for something like that, but might be.
I could find the article and reach out to the reporter. I know most of them through my work. So.
Yeah, she's a young woman, very nice, been to the city council meetings. So,
What would be helpful if the state is publicize that for what it's worth. I know enforcement is impossible, but
Yeah, particularly now, because it's been a free for all now.
Right.
I mean, once e-bikes became a thing and they were okay on bike trails, it's not gonna matter if anybody puts an ordinance in, because how are we ever going to be able to enforce it, or even know how fast somebody's going? I mean, out the radar gun.
right.
Yeah.
You might be able to enforce if somebody's on an e-bike that's not appropriate, that's outlawed based on the ordinance. But you're right, like,
or if
I mean,
somebody.
how
somebody
many
hits
bicycles
somebody.
have a speedometer? A lot of them don't.
Right.
I think probably most of them don't.
Right. So I mean, like, it's not like somebody's gonna have, oh yeah, sorry, I was going 18.
Yeah, it's not like they're out there
It
with a
felt like
radar
it.
gun. Yeah, I mean, I think it would come into a place if something happened. And
Right.
you're like, a pedestrian is hit by somebody on a bike, but,
How do you prove?
but how do you, I mean, except for that, I don't know.
I was on the Westfield Trails a number of weeks back, and they have some signs posted with their etiquette, with kind of basically the rules of the road. And it might not be a bad idea to consider, placing signs. Listed and have it posted a couple places in the city limits myself. The people that are riding the trail are probably not gonna even think about it unless they see that. And then if they do, they might think to go to the website or something and see what else is there. But I've read it many times and never gone to the website.
Yeah.
But if I saw the sign, I'd say, that's a good idea. Out of courtesy for pedestrians,
Yes, John?
I have an idea that might help. It could be something in the future and possibly something that there's a grant for. But I think what could be effective in this case is one of those things that the police put on the street sometimes that shows the person's speed limit and shows that you're speeding. So if there was one of those radar detector sign things that said, speed limit 15, you're going 19, that would show people that they're speeding if they're doing that kind of, speed. And it could be somewhere near downtown where it's like appropriate.
Or they'll be like, how fast can I get up?
I see kids going, whoa, how fast can I make that say?
Talking about younger
Yeah, it's a good point.
years.
That's what
That's just a dare.
it is. I think it's
But
a
I mean,
dare.
a vehicle also has a wider front that the radar can focus on. I don't know
Yeah.
how that would work as effectively with bicycles.
I don't know. I mean, during the pandemic, when there was like no cars on the road, one of those things picked me up running.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Get pulled over.
I want to know how
Blazing
fast.
speed.
I've been picked up on the streets on my bike numerous times, so it's not an issue. One other thing I thought about is that we've got the Southampton people putting their whole system in progress at the moment. I don't know where they are with the committee or anything. Is anybody interfacing with them whatsoever? John?
I am.
John, our liaison.
Good.
Yeah.
John, do they have a lot of their ideas established, or are they still?
Oh, no, they're already in design phase. Theirs is in the docket for 2027 for construction.
Last I heard, they were still acquiring land. I don't know if
They got the land.
They've got the
Oh,
land.
excellent, excellent, okay. I was thinking, if this is part of our basic protocol, they might like to see it and consider their using it along with Northampton. Just a suggestion.
Yeah.
One kind of shifting gears was to like talking about fundraiser. One thing that I have thought of, like we could ask River Valley Co-op or like somewhere else too. Like they do like change for change, or like they round up. If we ever get to a point where it's like,
Well, that'd be good anyway.
right, yeah, right.
I
Or
think
if
you
it's
can
like,
I think on the way out, you can submit your name for consideration.
yeah, I also took just because they're a client of mine, so like I could ask if we ever want to go down that route of, I know. So.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Well, I was glad to, especially since we're gonna be continuing to do the maintenance.
Right, and
For the
then
time
there's no,
Are they?
biggies, yeah.
Avashan says as well.
Oh, yeah, that's
They
right.
just started.
They did their friends, the neighbors thing.
If nothing else, it's good PR.
Right.
It's getting the name out
Right.
and.
Right.
little
Yeah,
publicity.
I've been to
Yeah.
River Valley and I'm like, oh, I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, and a lot of the people who go to River Valley are the same people who use the trails. So
Yeah,
that
definitely.
makes sense.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I've actually thought of that when I've been there, but now that it's expanded to other places too. Okay. All right. Well, if there's nothing else,
Next meeting date.
we'll look at our next meeting
Yeah.
date.
Did I miss anything when I was gone for like half the meeting?
Nothing too much.
Yes. I'll just keep, I'll make an effort to share the bike valet.
Yep. If you
and get more
share it,
signups.
I'll try to get it out tomorrow.
Okay,
24th, maybe?
It's quick for me.
Sound good? Monday, June
Sounds good.
24th? Yep. Okay. All right. This is a short meeting.
Yeah, I like short meetings.
Motion to close the meeting.
Second,
Second.
all in favor? We'll see you at Cultural Chaos.
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.